What's going on, everyone? It's Zcash here, and I just watched the new Boruto episode that came out on Saturday, which was called Victor's Scheme. Actually, not Saturday, I mean Sunday, but the episode was called Victor's Scheme. And if you have watched that episode, then you're starting to realize that we are getting close to the manga episodes. If you have already read the manga, you notice that it's starting to get to the manga episode because there's a lot of interesting things that happened on this episode that's gonna basically play a big part when we go into the manga episodes and the Kara arc officially starts. But yeah, this episode was not bad. It was actually a really interesting episode. It kept me interested, intrigued, and we got to see some basically three of the Kara members, Jagan, Amando, and Delta. So we got to see three of the Kara members, which wasn't bad. It was something new to see. The animations weren't that great. They were actually, if anything, really terrible. But it's most likely confirmed that when the manga episodes begin, the animations are going to get better. And yeah, we're gonna see some great animation because Periot, I believe they're the original studio that did the animation for Naruto and did the animation from the beginning episodes of Boruto. They're gonna be taking over once the manga episodes begin. And yeah, the animation are gonna get better. So if you're saying shit that why do the Kara members look so bad and terrible, that's why, because they're using a really cheap studio. A low budget studio is working on animations for this arc right now. And then once the manga episodes begin, most likely we're gonna Period's gonna take over and the animations are gonna become amazing again. But yeah, I'd say bear with this animation because I'm bearing with it. And yeah, the story wasn't bad though. It was an interesting story. Started out with Victor. He went to Amando, and then basically at first I'm like, okay, like what's going on? Because he's just arguing with Amando, saying, oh, when's phase 2 gonna happen? And then he just starts what you call having a seizure or something, and then he just falls down on the ground. Like, wait, is this guy dying right now? I'm like, what the hell? What's going on, right? And then later on, it's just like he basically faked it and waked up, and basically he had to fake himself so he could basically know what Jagan's basically scheming behind the scenes, because apparently he was Victor wasn't told what's going on. And yeah, so he basically sends, I think, a bug. It's like a small bug. He sends it out in their wherever location they're at to see what's going on. Basically the bug goes there, scans the where the vessel in, gets all the information from that. So he's like, alright, vibes, he knows what's going on. And then after they show Delta, Amando's basically leaves the room where Victor's at, where he's scheming everything. Amando goes to Delta, and then they show the first scene of Delta, and she doesn't look that bad. It's just the animations weren't that great. Man, Delta didn't look that bad. They showed Delta. Delta had a talk with Amando, saying she hates everyone. She hates Boro. They mentioned Boro, and the other guy, I forgot his name. They also mentioned him. And then she's like, Amando, I hate you the most. And then Amando's like, alright, everyone hates me. And she leaves again. And then Jagan calls Amando. Amando goes to Jagan. And then apparently they're already at phase 3, because he also, when you see when Victor hacks basically the vessel and is searching all the information that has came, it shows there that, oh, they're already at freaking phase 3. So Victor's been lied to the whole time. They already were at phase 3, and even Jagan didn't know. Amando was like, yeah, Amando's the one that kept it secret. He's like, yeah, we're already at phase 3, and Jagan's like, yeah, like he found out later on, and he's like, why'd you hide it from me? And then Amando gave some reason, saying, oh, I forgot what was the reason. What was the reason? Apparently he wanted to make everything go right. He didn't want to give false information, to saying we're going to the next phase and something happened, something like that in between the lines. But yeah, that happened, and Victor walks in, and yeah, Victor's like, I can help you guys with this plan, because if you notice, Victor already hacked into the vessel and knew what they're up to. So Victor was already like, alright, I got a plan. I can help you guys transport the vessel, because they're basically planning to transport the vessel somewhere. I think they want to do some tests. And Victor's like, alright, I can help you with that. I basically got a blimp, or whatever that plane, that thing he has, the thing that could fly in the air. It's basically be unnoticed. It camouflages itself. And I'm like, oh shit, so that's why they made this episode. Because if you look at the manga, when the manga begins, first chapter, the blimp crashes. Like, they basically, like Naruto finds out that the blimp crashed. And I'm like, wait, first of all, what's his blimp? Second of all, why does blimp even crash? And then third of all, why were they even transporting the vessel? Like, where were they transporting the vessel to? And now this episode's actually explaining all that, which is what I actually give props to Boruto, which I actually like about in Boruto, because they're actually fixing things in the manga that they didn't explain properly. Like, that just got, like, you know, like, just like, because in the manga, as you know, like, Victor dies in the first chapter. Oh, sorry for the spoilers, but Sorry about that, but yes, Victor dies in the first chapter, and there's no explanation, on how the blip crashed. Well, there is later on, of who actually crashed the blip, but at that point, there's no explanation on that how it crashed, and then it's just like it just randomly happened. Victor dies, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? So it's actually cool, and yeah, and then we're like, yo, why did Victor die in the first place? Why did Jagan order what the dry guy, I forgot his name, but the dry guy to kill Victor, and now we know why, because of this. And that's why I kind of like what Boruto is doing. They're basically showing you guys the bits, parts that the manga didn't show, and preparing you guys, and basically preparing you guys for the manga, so you guys know of what's going on before the manga episode starts, so you won't be confused. So it's pretty cool what Boruto is doing with this. But yeah, Victor's like, all right, I got a blip, I'll help you guys out. And then Amando still doesn't trust Victor, and you could kind of see from Jagan's face too, he also doesn't trust Victor, but they're like, fuck it, we're gonna go with this plan. And then yeah, I believe after that they switch back to the Hidden Leaf Village, and it's basically Naruto. He's congratulating Boruto, basically Kamehameha's team, Boruto, Sadara, and Mitsuki, for that successful mission they did. And then that's another cool thing they did. Then Boruto's like, all right, I want to fight you, like, to Naruto. He's like, I want to go, like, have a head to like, one-on-one match. And now this also makes sense too, because if you look in the manga, Naruto and Boruto are just having a fight, and it starts off out of nowhere. There's no reasoning, but later on they show that Naruto was testing that scientific ninja tool he had on his arm, but like there's no explanation on why that happened. Like, how the hell did, like, Boruto and Naruto agree to that fight? Like, what's the, like, no, the like the backstory on that? And that's pretty cool that what Boruto, the anime, is doing. They're preparing for all that, so when it goes to manga episodes, you aren't confused and like, what the hell is going on. So I give props on that for Boruto too. And then yeah, then Naruto's like, all right, I'll think about it, but he's like, I'm never gonna go back on my word. And we already know their one-on-one fight will be in the manga, where Naruto tests out basically the scientific ninja tool on Boruto. So that's pretty cool that they set up for that too. And I believe after that we go back to Jagan and Amando. Amando's basically setting up the vessel to go in that blimp, so it could fly out to the destination they want to go to. Jagan's also there, Delta's also there, and Delta's like, oh, if Victor does anything wrong, like, I'm the one that's gonna kill them. And Amando too, apparently. But yeah, they're just talking about that. The blimp flies away, and we're like, all right, cool. And then out of nowhere, Victor is like, you guys thought that autopiloting would help? Nope, bitch, I could actually change, because he's the one that most likely made the blimp, so he could change basically the autopilot while the blip is flying, which is kind of stupid on Jagan. Like, Jagan and Amando's like, come on, like, he basically made that fucking that blimp, like, come on, like, he's gonna know how to, like, hack through that blimp, right? But yeah, he's basically trying to change basically the autopilot for the blimp, and then something happens. The blimp gets hacked, and I know why it got hacked. It got hacked by someone. I'm not gonna say who, but in the manga, in the later episodes, it showed who's the one that actually hacked the blimp. The blimp ends up crashing, and there you go, and that's where it picks up from the manga. Because yeah, the blimp's gonna crash, and then in the manga, all the car members are gonna have a meeting, and then there you go, and everyone's gonna be like, yeah, it's Victor's fault, and that's why Victor is gonna die. I'm like, oh shit, so that's why they made this episode. And I was like, that's pretty cool that Boruto actually did that. Like, I was actually like, what the hell? Like, when I was reading the manga, I'm like, it was so random, but now there you go. So it's pretty cool why Boruto did these episodes. But the blimp clash, and then Victor's like, shit, what the fuck happened? He doesn't know what happened because Swan basically hacked into their basically the blimp, right? So yeah, there you go, and that's where it's gonna pick off now when they start into the manga episodes. Naruto's gonna find out that something crashed, a blimp basically crashed, and the vessel's in there. So Kamehameha and Mugino, they're gonna go investigate that. So that's pretty cool. They set it up for that now for the manga episodes. And then we switch back to the Hidden Leaf Village. I believe just Boruto showing him. He takes out the band on his arm. The Karl mark is there. And then he's just having a flashback with him and Momoshiki. And I'm like, damn, they're actually getting close to the manga episodes. We're almost there. And damn, then the episode ends like that. So that was a pretty good solid episode. Didn't really have any problems. I actually liked it that they did this episode, because now we know the backstory of what happens later on and how Victor dies. What were they doing to the vessel at that point? Where was getting transported to? And on top of that, like, basically Jagan, like, what his plans were for the vessel at that point. So that was pretty cool they did that. And then we also got, like, the setup for how Naruto and Boruto are basically going to have like a one-on-one training match, and how Naruto is going to end up testing out the the Scientific Ninja 2 arm against him. So that's pretty cool that they did that too. But yeah, guys, that was my thoughts on episode 179 of Boruto, which is called Victor's Scheme. Episode was really good. Always kept me intrigued. I was always interested in the episode, never got bored. And on top, we got to see 3 car members, Jagan, Delta, and Mondo. That was pretty cool that they also showed them too. Really interesting episode. And on top, they're basically preparing for the manga episodes. So pretty cool that they're actually making these episodes so we aren't confused of what is basically gonna happen in the manga. So really cool episode. But anyways, what did you guys think about this episode? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you guys enjoy me talking about Boruto, then hit that subscribe button. And also click that notification button so you're notified of whenever I upload a new video about Boruto. And also leave a like on this video. I'll appreciate it a lot. Anyways, it's been your boy Zcash here. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.